Welcome everyone to the Fear the Walking Dead Episode 3 review. Just as a reminder, like the first couple videos, this is a spoiler review. So everything I talk about in this video, we'll talk about what happened in the episode. Current episode 3 of Fear the Walking Dead is called The Dog. Dun dun dun. So, what we have going on in this episode, thankfully, like it actually sped up a couple of the plot points I was worried that they were going to linger on too much. So Travis, Eliza, and Christopher got out of downtown Los Angeles, and the Salazars ended up joining them. I liked the fact that they had to basically run because a fire was started at the store next to the barbershop. So it was a really good thing to actually speed along the plot points. I was really worried that we were going to get this whole entire episode of them having I'm a man who knows the intricacies of human dilemma from my trials and tribulations of moving from El Salvador up to the United States. That, of course, is Mr. Salazar. To which Travis is trying to, but I'm a man too, and I'm trying to be tough, and can't you tell I'm telling my kid here that things are serious and rough out there? That's a really horrible Cliff Curtis impersonation, and that definitely was not a very good impersonation of the actor that plays Mr. Salazar. So, that was really great, and because of that, because of the enjoyability of the episode, I give it another 7.5. So we're consistent. Episode 1, Episode 2, and now Episode 3, I give 7.5s. This means that I'm continuing to want to watch the rest of the season. I'm continuing to want to see what happens next week. And because I'm recording this video late, next episode is in a couple days here. So I enjoyed the fact that you're still continuing to see the attempts at daily life while dealing with this craziness. Once again, having waited 5 days to do this video, I've read a few of the either Facebook or other chat message boards discussions that people are having on the episode. And every single response that I'm seeing from people that is negative is from people that have seen 5 seasons of The Walking Dead. The people that have watched The Walking Dead, they're wanting instant gratification. They're wanting it to be right in the shit storm right away. I don't like that. I like that we're starting fresh, and I like that what you could do with this TV show, Fear the Walking Dead, is you can actually take your time as the zombie apocalypse starts. Now, granted, you don't want to take too much time because after a while, everybody's going to get bored with the zombie apocalypse, and we don't want that. Especially with a TV show, because TV shows get canceled if people are bored. So, what I really like, at least about the pace of this episode, is that we see one little instance of a walker, we see another little instance of a walker, and that's okay. But we see that it's happening. The chaos in the streets as Travis and everybody left the Salazar's barbershop. You actually saw a police officer walker attacking another police officer, but all the rioters they're thinking just people are just going crazy. Hey, this is the time to go crazy and riot. In the meantime, like I've rewatched the episode a couple times now, and I've seen little bits and pieces in that crowd where I think other people are being attacked or they've been attacked and bitten, and they need medical attention. Well, we know what's going to happen. But I like that. I like the fact that, story-wise, I don't want it to really happen in real life, but I like the fact that, story-wise, people are just not understanding what's going on here. And that is, I think, an eventuality of an apocalypse, is people getting so caught up and lost in the real world problems that they don't see what's going on in the back end of, let's just say if this was just a coming plague, people getting sick. People like to post viral videos about that happening, but they don't like to take the actual precautions of maybe we should make sure that we're, you know, staying inside, staying healthy, constant communication with either the government or CDC's reports or whatever. I don't know. I obviously have not been through a zombie apocalypse, so I'm not an armchair quarterback, but I'm an armchair zombie apocalypse person. I'm sitting here in my computer chair and watching all of this. So, I saw some people complain online about really the zombie apocalypse and you're playing Monopoly. The fact that Madison and Alicia and Nick played Monopoly is actually a pretty awesome plot point because it shows what we do like when the power goes out, what we do when we're going through a really tough storm. Uh, the storm knocks out the power. We can't go outside. We can't do much of anything. So we pull out Monopoly. Pulling out a game and having the kids play it, for the most part, was distracting. They forgot about the neighbor. Because in the previous episode, we saw that the neighbor was being attacked. Um, and what was cool was, like, that's something that parents try to do for their kids. Even if your kids are 18 or even older. You're trying to be a parent. You're trying to protect your kids. Now, one parent's idea of protection is different from another parent's idea of protection. So, in this case, Madison's trying to delay and distract the moment, and they got Monopoly out. And you even saw Alicia was just kind of like, "Are you kidding me?" And then when it came to picking the little moniker that they're going to use, she's like, "Oh, I'm this one. I'm this one. I'm this one." I think it was the shoe. I don't know. So I honestly thought that was neat. I thought it was kind of crazy that they had to deal with the neighbor's backyard maze for a brief moment. And then there we go. So now we deal with the neighbor. Neighbor somehow died and came back. We saw some pills on her table. Who knows if she got bitten and then came back, or if she didn't take her medication right and she died in her home and came back as a zombie. Who knows? It's kind of one of those things about this. We don't fully know, like how some of these people are turning. But if you think about it, if somebody just died in their home, they're going to get up and walk. We saw that with Calvin. He got shot, got up and walked. He was not bitten. Once again, going back to Jenner from The Walking Dead, telling us that we're all infected. We, as in the characters in the show. So that was kind of neat to see them deal with the neighbor, getting the shotgun shells there. They had to deal with the neighbor Peter. Papa Salazar having to shoot Peter in the face. Ew, but necessary. We all know as an audience. And so one thing I noticed as was it Susan, the neighbor, the Asian woman that was a zombie, as her husband came home and Susan gets shot by the military, probably National Guard or something like that. I think the neighbor across the street actually survived the attack from the previous neighbor, Peter, because I saw her talking to the National Guard. However, we saw Papa Salazar looking across the street, and they were marking an X on that house or on a neighbor across the street's house. So it's really interesting. I'm actually genuinely curious. What does the X stand for? I'm wondering if I looked up some of the Hurricane Katrina or other similar disasters in recent years where National Guard or government reps have gone in and what do they call it? Where you can't go in the house. It's not allowed, not authorized. Well, whatever the markers they're putting on the house. So they're going through and they're checking all this. So I'm interested to see what happens next week, because now we have military involvement. They've actually gone through the neighborhood, and the original plan to go out to the desert has not happened. So not much really say on this episode. It's moving along. This is episode 3. We got 3 more episodes to go. I believe there's only 6 for the first season, which is good. It's a nice little warm up for this kind of pilot season for Fear the Walking Dead. So I look forward to it. Well, as always, leave your questions, comments below. Let's discuss some of the show. Uh, it's going to be spoiler filled, so go ahead and put spoiler questions down below. We'll discuss some of the theories, some of the things that we think might happen. Mama Salazar with her broken foot. I do predict that the infection might get treated by the National Guard. It might not. Papa Salazar might actually have too much pride at this point to want to engage the military. Yet he wants to get a doctor, or he says he's going to get a doctor. But despite all of his, now more I'm thinking about this now, he thinks he's strong. He thinks that he's tough, and he thinks that Travis is weak. In all honesty, I think Papa Salazar and Mama Salazar are going to bite it soon. And I think Ophelia, their daughter, is going to be the one that's going to stick with the group. So, but if my predictions are for the rest of the season, I think we're going to lose 2/3 of the Salazars to pride, not pride, to ego, arrogance. I think he thinks that he's aware of things going on, but he's not aware of the right things that are going on. Yeah, he knew that he needed to shoot Zombie Peter, but he didn't really fully understand why. And I think him and Travis are obviously gonna fight some more, but yeah, I think we're gonna lose the mother Salazar here soon. As far as my feelings on the rest of the cast, I think everyone's doing a good job. They're stepping up all their roles. Alicia obviously found out more about what's going to happen to Matt, and that's heartbreaking, of course, and she had to go through that reality check. Here's hoping we don't get another dramatic moment of, but I still have to go see Matt before he turns. I understand some of the need for sappy, romantic, emotional actions. It creates drama and friction with characters. It's not needed with her. She needs to face reality, and the thing that sucks about Matt is that character technically should just be done. I do hope that we see Tobias again. If anything, we might probably see him at the end of the season, the last episode. But I think episode 4 and 5 we won't see Tobias. We might see him at the end of episode 6, or that might be it. That might have been just a nice moment for Madison to have a moment with a student of hers to give her the reality check. Yeah, so I think that's it for my predictions. That's it for this episode. I wanted to keep this one under 15 minutes for this week. Well, pretty much it. It's not, the show's not blowing me away, but it's keeping me in there. I'm anxious to see what happens next. So, yeah, keep the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button at either side. I can remember, when you're recording these things. But yeah, hey, this is Greg Scott Bailey. This is the Fear of the Walking Dead review, episode number 3, and hey, until the next adventure.